Welcome to the Nicholas Brown Podcast, a podcast talk show about real estate investing, business leadership, and personal development. Each week, we explore current real-life case studies about how to build financial independence through investing in real estate to build your personal portfolio through passive income models, along with interviews from the top business leaders and personal development leaders. Now, here's your host, Nicholas Brown.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 36. I got a dedicated guest. I reached out. Well, actually, I took advantage of this person's product. He represents a company called Propstream. Which what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, because what's going to happen is if you look at that link, you'll be able to go and get a special trial. But he's going to give us, which I'm going to get straight to the source. He's going to give us an example of how strong this system is, which each time they're upgrading also, because I got a testimony a year and a half ago. I got a $95,000 equity deal by using this software, which is called Propstream. Okay. This is, I'm kind of prehistoric. I'm 50 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Back in the day, we do door to door, but this here, everything's so fast. It's like peer-to-peer. You got systems here, like my phone, which I'm so excited about it. Now, a year and a half, they didn't have the software. They upgraded. Now they got a software where you can do, as they call them, drive-bys, where everybody's doing is that what they call them, Burton? Drive-bys and take pictures of the properties and get that information off. You can do that on your phones now, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to get straight to the source. I'm going to read this information, and make sure if you're listening in, also listen in, download this. So make sure you subscribe. So here we go. I'm going to read the about section, just a brief about section, okay? So this episode is about Burton Alicando. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, awesome. And he is a senior product specialist also known as the Propstream Guy. Propstream is the most trusted provider of real estate information for investors, agents, and brokers. Make sure you download the Quick Start Guide and link, which is a 7-day trial at the site, which is nicholasbrowninc.com/Propstream trial. Okay, so welcome to the show, Burton. I just want to get straight to the source. So can you pretty much kind of like explain what Propstream is? You can do it better than I can.
Of course. Well, first off, thank you for the kind words and thanks for having me.
No problem.
So a little bit about Propstream. We've been in the business of collecting real estate data nationwide for about 15 years now. We started in 2005, released the first version of it in 2006. But ultimately, what we do is collect property data, and that would be like the county records, the property characteristics, tax information. We also collect financial data, mortgage information, equity information, and if there's a lien on the property and so forth, which that would actually fall into our situational data. Right. So it's property data, financial data, and situational data. Every one of these different data sets that we collect are from different providers. And so our goal was to buy them from different providers and then connect them within Propstream so that you can do or manipulate the data as you see fit. So if you wanted, let's say, a tax delinquent property that recently failed on the market and has a tax lien, you can do that within Propstream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. Like I said, a year and a half. Each time they're upgrading. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you have probates. You have access where I can search for probates. Am I right?
Well, actually, it's called pre-probate. So
pre-probates. I apologize.
We have a unique list.
Okay. Wow. Pre-probates. Wow. Before.
Correct.
Wow.
So, well, we can't be 100% sure, but the idea is that what we've done is identified a person that's passed away and their name is still on title. So that's what our list is. It's called pre-probate, otherwise known as the deceased owners list. Now, what we obviously...
That's where you can start marketing, build the list, correct?
Absolutely. And again, just potentially provide your services to people that might need your help because of someone that has passed away and they are on title. So the idea is that they've passed and you'll be able to provide your services and hopefully assist them with whatever it is that they need.
Okay, awesome. This station, this channel, I want to tell you, Burton, is basically for real estate investing for beginners, but I'm going up a little bit up a notch. That's the purpose of this video here. This episode is for those who want to deal with syndication and deal with apartment complex and multifamily property. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give Burton access. He's going to give you a quick rundown on how the system works. And if you ever have any questions, reach out to me. Hit that link because I'm gonna do frequently asked questions. That's the purpose if you hit the link, which is the site. As I said on the previous episode, the site is passiverei.net, Passive Real Estate Investing Network. So we're networking, but you'll have your own dedicated user password where you can always watch this video, send me the questions, and I'm pretty sure Burton or his team, they'll be able to answer any questions. And they want your input so they can upgrade. Am I right?
100%.
Yeah.
Send it over to support@propstream.com.
Awesome.
Here we go. So this is Propstream.
Nice.
Welcome to propstream.com, everybody. So what we're going to show you right now is just a simple basic search and how to find, well, basically, again, we collect property, financial, and situational data. But with that data information that we collect, you can manipulate it and build yourself a motivated sellers list or buyers list. And we're going to give you 10,000 records every month. So when you subscribe, feel free to utilize those 10,000 records anywhere in the United States. So for the sake of today's demonstration, we're going to go to the search page and we're going to search Dallas, Texas. So we'll be typing in Dallas, asking us which Dallas are we referring to, clearly the one in Texas. Now, once we do that, we're now in the city of Dallas, Texas, where Propstream is telling us that we have over 300,000 records available. Now, here's the thing. These are commercial buildings, these are residential properties, office spaces, condominiums, and so forth. So what you really want to do is, rather than kind of grabbing from the pile, go into our filter just to the right of the search bar. And from there, here's what you want to do. So if you're looking for multifamily properties, you're going to want to go into our property characteristics first. And then from there, choose residential. So I know that sometimes we call them commercial buildings, but they're actually labeled residential, but they fall in the multifamily 5+, or in these other categories like the apartment generic 5+ units or the 100+ units.
Yeah.
Or to make it easier for yourself, rather than having to go through the property type and figure out which one you're looking for, we have a unit number range search filter here. So you could say, look, I don't want to go through all those property types. This is what I need. I need a residential property that has anywhere between 5 to maybe 15 units, or maybe 5 to 20 units. Let's increase our ratio there. So now here are all the multifamily properties with 5 to 20 units. So when we deselect the characteristics, now we have the 1,100 properties within a category of ours that fit that 5 to 20 multi-unit family characteristic, right? So now what we need to do is just add some additional criteria, because what we need is not just a 5 to 20 unit building, but we need a few other things like a certain motivation to it. And so there are some checklist choices we can select. So it could be maybe one with a lien, maybe perhaps one that's high equity. You mentioned high equity in your testimony to Propstream, so we can aim for one with already high equity, maybe one that didn't pay their taxes on time, or our new pre-probate, where someone has passed away and their name is on title. And we don't have anybody in that category as of that moment. Maybe it's a senior owner that owns this 15 to 20 unit building. So you want to make sure you're specifying the property classification and the unit amount, right? Because everybody has a different preference. But once you do that, then you want to choose the list that you're looking for. So we can, let's say, look for senior owners. And then we just have a few more criteria to add. One important one is in the MLS status, we probably want to make sure it's an off-market property. So you would go to on-market, hit no. And then finally, the last thing I would probably recommend is the owner preference and equity preference. So in ownership info, we can say, we would like someone to have owned this building maybe for 7 years. Maybe after 7 years of ownership, they're just tired of owning the property. And it's not just a corporation, but perhaps it's a individual. Okay? Or if you want both, go ahead and click on both of those as well. numbers of properties owned. So you can see if they own multiple properties, as well as this building that you're referring to. And once you're done with the ownership info, the last stop would probably be the valuation and equity info, where you can specify the estimated equity by a percentage. Like maybe we must have 10% or more in equity. And then these are your results. Or maybe that's not good enough. Maybe you need 40% in equity. And so here are your results here. When you hit close, those 300,000 records that you were trying to go with are now down to 78. And again, what are these 78? Let's reiterate or summarize our filter. And our filter, here's your summary. You're in Dallas, Texas. You're aiming for senior owners that own residential properties that have 5 to 20 units. They're off market. They've owned these buildings for 7 years or more. So that could be a reason why they want to sell. Individual and corporate owned, and they have 40% or more in equity. So here you go. These are your 78. At this point, you can check off all of your results, because remember, you get 10,000 records. So 78 is just scratching the surface there.
Wow.
You can add it to a list, call it Nick's Dallas multifamily list, and hit save. And at this point, what we are going to do is we're going to take your list and store it in what we call your My Properties. This is like your filing cabinet, where all your other marketing lists, including the one we just created, is stored here. Now from here, you can check off the properties and export it. Now, when you export it here in the My Properties area, what you're going to get is what you're going to see: the address, the city, state, the building owner's name, and so forth. Now, this is what your Excel sheet's going to look like, right? Same
thing. See how, man, strong. No, I'm just
say
how fast and how strong. Like I was telling you, everything used to be prehistoric to me, but this here is so quick. You know, I mean, go ahead, man. I just get
No, I was actually gonna wrap it up by simply
no,
not like that. But I was just gonna say that after you're done building your list, I mean, you can export it, and just like what Nick was mentioning back then, you know, he would get a list from a source, and he would just get the addresses and the names of these owners, right? But with Propstream, not only are we doing the same thing that Nick's used to doing, but a little bit, as you mentioned, much faster, but we've also included, as additional features, the ability to skip trace.
Wow.
What that means is that you can now get cell phone numbers, landlines, and emails within 5 minutes or less. So we can take this list of 78 multifamily properties with senior owners, get it skip trace, and get a cell phone, a landline, or an email right now in 5 minutes or less, and just start calling. So we don't need to knock on a door if you're shy, or send out a postcard. You can call someone tonight. Now, if you're not feeling that, we have a campaign area. So within Propstream, we can set up a website, send postcards to your senior owner, multifamily building owners, voicemails, or emails as well. So that's just kind of the avenue in which you take a search, you save it, and you can take it out from there, or you can run it down the chain, get it, phone numbers and emails, and then run a campaign. So that's just one example. Would you like me to show you another example of how
I just want to prove a point, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I had this a year and a half ago, but I had my laptop. But you see, it's pretty much a one-shop, done for you. You can send out postcards. You can call them instantly, the skip tracer. So this here saves you so much time, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if you're doing, you know, residential or commercial. This here is the system here, I promise you. But I just want to push that. But I don't know if it's an extra charge or not. I want in time, Burton, I want you to explain to them about how they can use their laptop with the app you guys have upgraded to also in time. I don't know if you was getting to that, but I just want to let these listeners and people watching this how quick and instant this is, no matter where you're located.
Yo, absolutely. And our mobile application is really designed for anybody visiting properties. We have the data on the go. You can build a list within your vicinity with the same filters that we have here and identify properties so you can go and visit them right then and there. So just like Nick mentioned, I mean, not only do we have the desktop version, but we do have the mobile app just as a cherry on top, and it's at no additional cost. So we can definitely show you guys that.
one question. So, for example, you have 78 unique properties. So, for example, this one here on 3929 Ross, can you show me an example? So, it also shows, if you, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all can see it, it has the balance, the equity amount. And it says, it tells you when, pretty much these are estimates. These are not exact, ladies and gentlemen, but they're
Right.
good enough for you to do your due diligence, your homework.
So
Okay.
we built the list, but this is really our bread and butter, and I'm happy you brought this up. Our bread and butter is actually when you click on the
That's
address
right.
itself. And when you do that, this is what we call our property details page. So let me just kind of give you a theory, okay? Or a hypothetical situation. We just went in Dallas. We built the senior owners list that own multifamily properties, and we saved it. We stored it in the My Properties page. It's right over here. Let's say we started knocking on doors, or we sent out postcards, or we skip traced it and we started calling somebody, right? What happens when they call you back? This is what happens. You go back into PropStream and you type in the address in the search bar, you click on the address if it's still there. And this is where you
Sweet.
should be at when you're talking to the homeowner. So when you're talking to the controller or the COO or the CEO of Ivy Holdings LLC, this is the page that we need to be on. We get to
That's right.
talk about the building information, how many units it has, how many years they've owned the property, if it's occupied by tenants. We can look at property characteristics, land information, tax information. We can see historic or current MLS history. So it looks like they're currently trying to rent it, but maybe they're tired of renting it. And maybe that's why they called us back, because now they're wanting to sell, but they're still going to rent it in the meantime, month to month for the time being, or something like that, right? So the idea is that what we've done is we've taken the county records, which come from one provider, and grabbed the MLS records from another provider and put them side by side so you can see it hand in hand and know the story. And when you're talking to the owner or the COO, you're talking with confidence, right?
That's
Just like
right.
the investor that you are.
Right.
Tax information is there. You can talk about all the other properties that they own. Oh, I see you
Wow.
guys own properties in Los Angeles as well. You can
Wow.
talk about the mortgage information. So how's Wells Fargo treating your property so far, right? So this is what we've done. We've taken the property, financial, and situational data and blended it in together so that you can talk to the homeowners or the business owners of these properties with utmost confidence and accurate information.
Because look for example, you got the comps, comparables. Look up top, ladies and gentlemen. It's giving you data. This here is so powerful. I love data. That's why I'm getting excited, Burton. So
Yeah, we even
it's
give you
so
the comps down here that you can manipulate. So you can run public, MLS records, both. Since we're in Dallas, this is non-disclosure. So our system's even smart enough to say, hey, don't do public records because it's non-disclosure. Stick with the
right,
MLS. And what's cool about the MLS is you get to see pictures of properties,
right.
see if it's been
Wow.
rehabbed, and get an idea of what units look like inside. Now, if we're dealing multifamily, there's running comps and the cap rates and all that. It's a whole
It
different
varies.
beast that we don't do. But for anybody running residential, I mean, this would be a great bet. But if you just wanted to see what other multifamily properties
Right.
sold for, you can. But as Nick would tell you, anybody would tell you, it's a whole different comping system when you're doing 5 units or more. So you can definitely extract our information and then run your cap rates as you need to.
Now look for example where it says cash buyers and free and clear. You see that? Yeah. Can you pretty much like explain? I'm just giving you an example, ladies and gentlemen, how you can set up a wholesale deals also. You can set up wholesale deals for the same as you're doing residential. Like for example, if I got the contract on this deal and it's worth $1 million, I'm getting it for 7. I'm just doing numbers. 7, I can wholesale. I can go send out the list of these cash buyers or have them set for the
We can
cash
even
buyer.
just simply change the subject. We can, instead of going from unit numbers, we can keep the same filters, just now say residential single family properties. And here you go. We just now have a larger group, right? Because
That's
they're
right.
single families, not multifamilies. And if one of them were to call you, like 710 Grand Avenue were to call you, now we get to talk to Philippe. Again, this is a different property. We get to talk to him about him trying to sell and it failed this year. So he got bad news that nobody wanted to buy it for 316. You can come in there and make a lower offer perhaps, right? Tax information, other properties that he owned. And just like Dick mentioned, now we can run comps on these properties, see what other properties are selling for and their pictures and so forth. So our system is,
Well,
if you want to call it a comprehensive, a lot of people say it's an all-in-one. But hey, I guess so. I mean, it does lead generation, skip
Right.
tracing to get contact information, direct marketing. So if you want to send postcards, voicemails, or emails, we got you covered there. And this, when they do call you back, you're going to have the details of their property, of their mortgage, run comps, so you can get that after repair value and call it a day if need be, right? What we can't help you with, obviously, is the negotiation and
Right.
contract signing. But as you can see, hopefully this can cover a good portion of your real estate business.
Yeah, it does. But one quick question, and I appreciate your time, Burton. What are you facing, for example, by the time they watch this video or someone listening in, we're getting over the COVID. So what have you came across? You know, is the market picking up? Because you're a data person, and I haven't spoke to you in a while. I haven't reached out to you in a while. But what are you coming across? What's your thoughts?
Well, the honest truth is it's region by region because some regions have suffered dramatically and some just it didn't even phase them one bit. As a matter of
Right.
fact, in some areas, you list the property and it's sold before the weekend even hits. So there are markets where the values are climbing and climbing. As a matter of fact, if you
This
wanted to check,
area,
yeah,
Dallas, Texas, Dallas Fort Worth area, believe it or not,
I
is
was
hot.
just going to tell you, if you wanted to check that out, you just simply do a quick city search, and down here at the bottom is our statistic, and it shows you how the price per square footage has
Wow.
climbed over
Wow.
the last year. So here in Dallas, I'm just going to prove your point that yeah, it has, but there might be areas like maybe Vegas, right? That whole area was shut down. Maybe you can see how it's starting to steadily climb, right? Now, maybe that climb is because they started opening up towards the end of the year. You see that, but from beginning to May up until August, we started seeing a decline, right? But then, okay, we're gonna let people start coming in. We have plexiglasses on the tables now, and I saw a few of my buddies start going to Vegas towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, and so now you're starting to see, okay, values are starting to increase because people are coming in. So this is Vegas versus what Dallas faced, right? Dallas, or let's go to another market. Let's go to Houston, right? We see the trend there in the Houston market is nope, it just went boom straight to the sky. So it was
Wow.
steady, never changed last year, even in
Right.
May to August. But then
Right.
now, as people are coming back out, yep, people want to buy their houses and call it a day, right? So to answer your question, it was sporadic. Some markets didn't get phased one bit. Even though there was a pandemic, supply and demand still hold true in those areas.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to check, though, yeah, simply search a market. If you wanted to check, let's say how Chicago did, go ahead and search that, and you'll be able to see the statistics down below. Call it a day.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, when you sign up to the get your dedicated user password, you're gonna have a link, which you're gonna have a 7-day trial, which after the trial it varies on prices. It's tailored to what your preference is. But I advise you guys to sign up to my site, which is free. We're gonna do workshops. We're gonna do workshops in the class. I'm gonna give you tips on how to wholesale, whether you're doing residential or whether you about to do multifamily, either or. He has that. Also, if you had restaurants or if you had liquor stores, if you see that, it's so powerful, ladies and gentlemen. I spent like probably about 13 hours straight one time just looking at data. I wasn't focused. Yeah, it's powerful. But any last words, anything you got going? Can you tell them you're not able to show them the mobile? You're not able to present that.
Oh yeah, no, I can definitely do that.
Cause we got probably
Let
about
me
5 or 10 more minutes if you
let me
don't mind.
grab my screen here, and I can definitely show you guys the mobile. And remember, this is an application that comes with your subscription, so it's no additional cost. If
Really,
you,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
if you're in the trial or you are a subscriber already, just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and just download the app.
Wow.
And I'm projecting it on my screen right now. So if you can give me a second here, let me go ahead and share my screen for you.
So example, ladies and gentlemen, let's just say if you're doing driving for dollars, whether you're looking for multifamily or residential, this system is so powerful. You see how powerful it is. But I just want Burton to
All
give you
right,
an
so this
example.
is my mobile app right here, my mobile phone. So just so you see it, side by side comparison, there's nothing fast being pulled. This is my actual app. or my iPhone. So there's the Propstream app. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And so here we go. Now, when you first log into Propstream, same username and password. So go ahead and type that in. And when you do, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be able to immediately search a property. So at the very bottom is your toolbar. It's the search page, the property page, or your favorites page, where all the properties you save on the mobile app get stored. Driving for dollars. So anybody that wants to drive for dollars, this would be the driving for dollars feature here. So you can set a filter within your area and see what's around you, or you can just go and drive and we'll record you, right? Whichever one you want to take. History just shows you anything that you've ever saved. And the more section is just your settings page. So the idea with the mobile app is two things. We knew people were going to drive for dollars with our app. So that's the drive feature. So with the drive feature, what I can do is, again, two things. Just hit just drive, and it starts recording your route, right? Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, we're going to record it. And so the idea is for you to zoom out. Maybe you're in an area like down here, you see a property, you tap on that parcel, it pulls up that detail. You can just save it by hitting the heart button right here. But if you really want the details, go into the details. And this is what separates our app from everybody else's, is that we've been able to transfer the data on our desktop to the mobile app. So if we happen to walk into the house and talk to the homeowner, we have all of this information right here. We have the property details, we have the tax information, the transaction information, the open loans. We can talk about their loans with confidence. Hey, they want an offer there. Normally you would say, sorry, I have to come back and do more research. Well, no, we can run comps on the spot right there. Public records, MLS records. We can see neighboring records. We can see cash transactions around the property. So we're not offering more than what the cash buyers are willing to pay. We can see the opportunity. Is there equity? How many mortgages? Are there any liens we need to worry about? Right. But what if we pulled up to the property and the owner wasn't there, and we see all the good numbers? We see the equity is great, the mortgage is low. Well, if the owner's not there, then let's go ahead and skip trace it, or let's send a postcard to the homeowner right then and there. So this is where you would be able to send a postcard, or just like Nick said, numbers 12 and 13 will let you take a picture, put it on the Polaroid, and send it out to them as well.
Wow, you updated that too. I see the Polaroid. That's sweet, man.
Yeah, so these are just some things that you can do. This is one aspect. So the concept here is that we're just driving for dollars. At the very end of it, at the bottom is your status bar. You can hit end. Do you want to save your drive? Go ahead and tap that, name that drive, and save it. Now, if you do that, two things are going to happen. First off, your properties will be stored in the My Properties page. So let me actually get to my other account so I can show you that anytime you save a property, it communicates with the desktop. So we'll send your leads over to the My Properties page of the desktop version. So anytime, oh, and by the way, not only that, but it also goes in your favorite folder of your mobile app. So here are all your favorite properties on your mobile app, but also on the desktop in My Properties, you'll see your mobile area. So here is my folder with my 84 properties. So these 84 properties on the desktop are the same 84 properties that I had here on my mobile app. So this is the one avenue of what people are using our app for, is to use it for driving for dollars. And again, you can record and save your route. When you do, the more section will store your drive route. So show you all the routes that you've recorded. So whether it's the last 24 hours or every single route, that's readily available. But the
way you can go back. You can go back and
mileage, hours, stops. You can check your work essentially.
Business. Yeah. So
but the
had
real
a team out.
That's exactly why we did it. So you nailed it right on the head. But the real reason why we created it was the sole purpose of that, to search a property. So let's say you're talking to a homeowner, you said, hey, I like you, come by my house this Friday, let's talk at the kitchen table, right? Okay, well, we're now gonna have to visit the property. Normally you would bring your paperwork or your laptop or tablet with you, but let's say in a rush, you forget all of that. You have the mobile app with you. What do? You type the address in. You simply type the address in and we'll get you to the details of that property right away. So it's like your cheat sheet in your pocket. Right. So now you can talk to the owner right then and there. Guess what? You don't have the address with you.
then type in the APN if you happen to know that. Well, I don't know what the APN is. Well, then let's use geolocate. We'll show you where you're at right now on the map. You simply just tap on that parcel. And once you tap on the parcel, you can go into the detail and let's talk to the homeowner about their property, right? So that's the goal with our mobile app. The final thing that we did as a cherry on top to, again, show you that we're much different than everybody else out there has to do with our drive feature. And what that is set filters in drive. So normally driving for dollars is looking for an abandoned property and then taking a picture and putting it on your marketing list, right? But if you're in my neighborhood, Orange County, where these properties like you see here are 800,000, 4 bedrooms, 2.5, you're not finding an abandoned property very easily out here. They get swallowed up really fast, or the HOA won't allow it. So for someone like me who can't do your traditional driving for dollars, I have set filters and drive. What this allows me to do is search a radius around my phone, maybe like a 5-mile radius. And guess what? These are the same filters I was just showing you on our desktop. So search a 5-mile radius around me of non-owner occupied properties that have maybe a pre-foreclosure on their title, and I want it to be owned by an individual. Oh, and let's make sure it's off market. Now that I have my applied filters, I'm going to hit apply, and we're going to do the hard work for you. What we're showing you within your area are all the properties that fit that criteria. So in my area where you don't normally find abandoned properties, you can find the properties that are being listed down here. Like, let's take a look at number 2. Right? From the outside, it looks great. It doesn't look like anything's wrong with it, right? We'd have probably driven by. But the reason why this property showed up is because I asked for a pre-foreclosure, and what do you know? There's a pre-foreclosure of someone not paying $771,000 on that property, right? And this is a property that has an opportunity of $1 million or more. So even if they didn't pay $770,000, I mean, we can offer them an $800,000 cash offer, right? Pay that default and give them something in their pocket, and still walk away with a win-win situation here. So what made this app unique, again, is our unique set filters and drive. And that's for anybody that's looking to do driving for dollars, or maybe have visited all the abandoned properties already, and now they're just looking to do something else.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, Burton, I appreciate your time. Next couple minutes, I want to get kind of like a home warming. What got you into this? What was your niche? Why did you start doing Propstream? And you're an investor also, but what got you to this journey?
I accidentally stumbled across Propstream.
Really?
So Propstream's been around. When I started with Propstream was probably around for about 5, maybe 6 years at that time, and I stumbled into Propstream. Small company. They were doing technology, and I'm a tech guy. So when I started with Propstream, I knew nothing about real estate. I was just in the tech world. I started as a tech support representative with them. But talking to investors like Nick and lawyers and doctors and retiree cops that wanted to invest, I started realizing, well, why don't I start learning real estate investing? So I took it upon myself to go schooling for real estate courses. So practice principal appraisal classes, read a bunch of books on creative seller financing, wholesaling. YouTube has been a great source. I've gone to seminars and studied from the greats. And so really why I stayed here over nearly the last 10 years is because I love what we've done with the data, right? We're all about helping people. So you strip away Propstream, you strip away the technology, we're all walking to the county's office to get these records and then bringing it back to the office and then sorting it out. Now, granted, that's what everybody's doing, but why doesn't that sit well with me is because we forget about what these records are, right? The records that you're taking home with you are people's lives that need your help.
Right.
So if our company can take these records and get it to you faster and have you manipulate it faster, so you're not having to do what we've been doing in the past. When I first started, our system wasn't what we had today. And there were still certain records you had to get physically. And I saw how they had got it physically. So it's still not easy to this very day, but our goal is if we can make these records come faster and have you manipulate them and find those off-market equities that meet your criteria, the criteria in which you can solve their problem quickly, then great, we've done our job and the community is saved as a whole.
And
that's really why
And that's why I stay, and that's why I love doing it, because I love solving problems and helping. You guys are really the problem solvers. You guys are on the floor, on the what I call the forefront. You're on the battlefield. You're talking to homeowners. You're solving their situations. I'm really just on the back end, just giving you the equipment, the armor that you need to go out there. So I appreciate this today.
Military, I was in the Marine Corps. We call them field soldiers. We're out in the field. We're the ones out in the field, though. But I appreciate you, man, because you stick with it, and I like the after effect. So I just wanted to get your why and common interest, get a little bit of personal to it, though. But hey, if I can in time, Burton, we're gonna get you probably on another episode, though. But ladies and gentlemen, feel free to send me the FAQs. For example, if you see now people asking questions, he's updating. He's done it even better for the mobile app. So that's his niche. That's his passion. But any last words before we go off, Burton? I appreciate your time here.
No, just thank you guys so much for investing your time with us today. And I hope you guys learned a little bit about what our app can do, and just hopefully it cleared the fog on, how to manipulate the data, whether you're doing residential, whether you're doing multifamily, whether you're a lender, a banker. I mean, there's lots of information that you can utilize. But no, thank you. And appreciate what you guys are doing. Thanks for solving problems out there. 12 years ago, our family went through a distress situation, and it was an investor like you guys that saved our situation. So we didn't know what a short sell was, and it ended up helping us out in the long term. So thank you guys so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep solving problems, and we're here to help you with the leads.
Thank you, Burton. I got to get you on another one because I deal with personal development and real estate. So you're a leader, man. We definitely need more people like you, man. But you're a great leader. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, before I end this, make sure you guys subscribe to this and make sure you join in Passive REI Network. You're going to get a dedicated user password, okay? You're going to get your dedicated user password. You're going to click that video, and I'm going to get you a template. I'm going to show you how to do a wholesale deal where you can flip on that. I'm going to give you an example of how I found that $95,000 equity deal. You see an example. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. And remember, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.
For joining us on the Nicholas Brown Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.nicholasbrowninc.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like this show and you are a new real estate investor, then check out one of Nicholas's free reports called the Wholesale Dominator Report, also located on our website, www.nicholasbrowninc.com/free reports. Be sure to tune in for our next episode. And remember, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.